What happens if you lick a 9-volt battery and then eat a mandarin? But why? Extreme health anxiety, mind control over your goosebumps, and can blind people be cured? Today, we're breaking down and answering some of the most thought-provoking medical questions from Discord. All right, let's dive right in. Why do I grow ginger hair in my beard even though I'm not ginger? And it's always the same spot, and I pull them out every time. It's just most likely genetics. Your genetics plays a huge component of how you're having hair on your face. If you pluck out a hair, it's going to probably grow back the exact same color due to like genetic code, the hair code that's going on there in that follicle. So you can try as you might, but it's probably going to continue to regrow back. There are other factors, obviously, that could play a part in somebody's hair color, age, hormones. These are simple things that could cause it. Why does coughing sometimes feel like getting hit in the balls, usually when I'm about to puke after eating something bad? Interesting, okay. Feeling the discomfort in your testicles after you cough is most likely related to the massive amount of intra-abdominal pressure that occurs when you're actually coughing. So when you cough, it's a big reflex, and you also contract and increase the pressure in the abdomen during that moment. So it can then compress potentially the nerves going down to the testicles, which then would give you that signal of pain. You remember, our testicles were actually inside of our abdominal cavity as we were being made, and they descended out into our scrotums. What if a blind person did laser vision correction? If somebody is wanting to get laser corrective surgery, typically it's a correction having to do with the refractory errors of your eye, meaning very simple changes to the anterior component of your eye to fix your vision. So you still are able to see in these individuals, but you're making somebody see more clearly versus actually giving them new sight. Because if somebody's actually blind, there are multiple different reasons why somebody has no vision. So no vision, meaning there might be an optic nerve issue going from the information from your eye to your brain. There's a brain problem in the sense that your occipital lobe, where vision basically gets the information and transmits it and understands it, there's an error there. Can you explain the period flu sometime, please, if you haven't already? Period meaning your menstruation. During the menstrual cycle, you go through different phases of different hormone releasing, and it also correlates to the buildup of the uterine lining versus the shedding of the uterine lining. Now, when people say they get the period flu, it could be a time period just before your period where you're starting to get body aches, nausea, not feeling well, maybe low-grade fevers, fatigue, all the symptoms that you would typically correlate with somebody who's getting influenza or the flu. Typically, it's related to the hormonal changes that are going on in the body, and some people are a little bit more aware / sensitive to those hormonal changes than others. I drink alcohol to keep myself warm when I'm cold. Is this good to do? No, it is not. Even though alcohol gives you the warm sensation going into your body, it actually causes your blood vessels to dilate, bringing your blood closer to the skin surface, which actually will decrease your core temperature and potentially make you colder. Now, metabolizing the alcohol itself will increase your heart rate, which could make you warm later, but there are other ways to go about warming your body up if you're feeling cold. Put more clothes on, get out of like a draft, maybe getting up and moving around, or exercising to get the blood flowing and increasing your own body heat. If you do drink, you definitely got to check something out that I made to help by my company called HAPPNS that I created, and the product is called Poor Decisions. I can control my goosebumps. Is that normal? Super cool that you can control your goosebumps because most people cannot. What the heck is goosebumps, right? It's the piloerection, when your hair follicles stand up and you get the little bumps on your skin. And typically it's an involuntary response to either the cold or to an emotional experience. Most people do not have the voluntary control of your autonomic nervous system. So about 1 in 1,500 individuals have this voluntary skill that is called voluntary generated piloerection. How normal is it to be able to feel physical pain inside dreams? Because I got messed up and even killed quite often in my formerly frequent nightmares, and I clearly remember the pain. Interesting. So the study and research and science behind dreams is still very much like evolving and trying to figure that out. So experiencing vivid sensations, including pain, is not totally unheard of. It's been documented. People do describe it. The sensations and the realism of these pains definitely vary from individual to individual. Even though the topic is really interesting and could cause some distress to individuals, the medical then correlation of it is typically not as serious. How can I fix constipation or my uncleared bowels? Because I am having a tough time with this. Constipation, or in the medical world, we call fecal retention. It's multifactorial. It could be related to lack of fiber in your diet. It could be due to dehydration, lack of movement, change in diet, certain foods that you're intaking. So what I would suggest is drink lots of fluids, keep moving around, and have a very good, healthy diet with a good variety of foods, including vegetables, fruits, balanced diet, or whatever diet that you're on. Just make sure that it is balanced so things continue to move. Do men's balls go sensitive if the individual gets colder? Potentially. So if an individual gets colder, the scrotum itself will start to shrink up and pull in. Typically, the scrotum itself and that tissue will actually get more dense because it's actually not stretched out anymore. And you might feel a little bit more sensitive to that area. And also the nerves are getting compressed a little bit in that area. So you can have that sensation. It should then go away when things relax and you're not having as much contraction when you're actually having that cold environment around you. What happens if you lick a 9-volt battery and then eat a mandarin? But why? Not sure what food it is, but why are we licking a battery and then eating food after is my first question. Licking a 9-volt battery will typically give you the sensation of a tingly weirdness to your tongue. And then once the battery is gone, that electrical charge is gone. So then eating thereafter should not have any correlation. But please don't be mixing eating while licking a 9-volt battery. Please stop and do not lick any 9-volt or any batteries for that sake, okay? You never know what could happen. What are the hairs that grow in between the legs? Is it useless or useful? Hairs in general relating to a mammal keep us warm. That's the point of the hairs on our body. It also protects the skin from outside influences, water, the environment, falls, abrasions. It's not just on our legs, it's literally in our noses, around our ears, on our face. In general, hairs, nose, ears, groin, it's protective from debris like dirt, dust, potential infections. And so that's another component of why we have hairs on our body. Considering you've been an ER doctor for many years, are most people you see generally healthy? I'm 29 and I have extreme health anxiety, and I'm always worried about living with a deadly disease. When I went to medical school, this was taught as hypochondria, which is just another form of anxiety. So it does happen a lot in emergency medicine where a lot of people come in, they're worried about the worst case scenario, they're worrying about they have everything under the sun. Most people, you need to check out how an individual is when they come to the emergency department with these type of anxieties, because you never know. It's not in the sense of like somebody crying wolf. It's just we take every single instance as if it is real. Another good round of the Discord medical questions. I appreciate you guys asking me questions. Please continue to ask questions. And in the meantime, check out this playlist right here. Binge watch everything. There's lots of questions there, lots of good topics. And do me a favor, keep this channel running, keep it going. Subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.